we had moved the slide to stress check, and one of the students has responded. Now I'm going to open up another window and I'll show you uh, once that student also responds. So this is the other one, and let's say this responds to the first option itself. Now getting back, let's go to the next slide. So I'm going to click on the next. So this is the slide that opens up, and it will open up on both the terminals. So what do you know about today's topic? So here the student will give you a brief description. So let's say the student says no idea, and the other student says let's say he knows about stuff like underfitting. So he just rates bias leads to underfitting. And these are assumptions. Okay, and of course the student can add another response. Getting back, now again the teacher can move to the next slide, and at the same time if you feel that you would like to make it student based, for instance you would do when you give it for homework or when the student is actually doing it at a remote place and it's online learning, then you just have to click on turn on student based. Once you do that, it says that now the student will be able to navigate on his own. So now you see that the student also has the control and the student can now navigate on his own. So the student reads this, he moves on, and if I go to the other terminal, you will see that the student is still on this slide. So here the student can start a mind map by drawing or typing anywhere. So here he can just write using this text option. So here he can talk about bias, assumptions, and stuff. Go to the next slide. So I click on this. And now a true false question comes in. High bias may lead to underfitting. So let's call it true. Now let's do the same for the other person also. And then we'll see how the teacher can see how the student is moving ahead. So I'm going to answer this, and here let's say I mark a false. Now let's get to the dashboard. So this was our dashboard. This is the teacher dashboard. Now this was the first slide. This is the second slide. Now if you see here, you will be able to see the responses of the student. So if you click on show responses, there are three types of views that are available. The first is list layout, in which case this is the first student, which is by the name Ramanujan, and this is the second student, which is me again. And these are the responses of the two. So this is the two students' responses in list layout. If you talk about grid layout, it will be seen like this. If you talk about overlaid layout, it will show you all the responses in one icon. Now here, if you would like to give a feedback to the student, so let's say you see in the grid layout that this particular student is not feeling very good, you can actually click here on leave feedback and say what happened. And then you click on send feedback. Also, there is this facility when you click here that you can just hide response. Okay, also there is this facility that you can star mark this answer if you feel that it's quite good. Right, so this is how the dashboard looks like, and this is how you can actually see the responses. Now when I move to the next slide, now here I'm able to see the responses that relate to these two students. So this is one was for no idea, and this one was bias leads to underfitting. So this is how the teacher can keep a track of all the responses.